A thread by Sherry Engler. As a graphic designer with a degree, I didn't understand why so many ballots were spit out as unreadable by the voting machines on November 3rd. But after watching Jovan Pulitzer's testimony today in Georgia, I now completely understand. Let me explain. As a graphic designer, all elements, layers of my design must line up in order to print on the paper properly. Otherwise, it can put out blurred images on the final product at the printing shop. The printing machines follow something put on my art documents called registration marks. Every student graphic designer in college is stressed that these are never to be off or you're wasting the printer's time and the client's time, which is very bad. Graphic designers get fired for this. Back in the old days when we did this work by hand, it was easy to make these mistakes before the computers. I'm dating myself here because that's when I started, before computers. Now I design everything on computers that go to a printer. On computer software, say Photoshop, for example, we no longer make these mistakes because the software sets all registration marks electronically every time in every layer of our art document. In Mr. Pulitzer's testimony, he points out that the registration marks he called bullseye or target are not lined up in the predominantly Republican areas with voters' voting papers. And he shows you that the Democratic areas' voters' voting papers are perfectly accurate registration marks. See below. All right, let's take a quick look, guys. Aligned, misaligned. All right, check it out. Badly misaligned. See that plus sign and then the little bullseye thing? And then the plus sign right in the bullseye. Well, almost right in the bullseye. You can see the Republican area's voter documents were off on the registration marks, very off, because these documents were meant to be scanned by a counter. Those bad registration marks will toss the document out as uncountable. Why was this print run allowed to proceed? Any print manager would have seen this in the printer's proof and rejected the print run. How did the registration marks get misaligned? Who printed these ballots? I have more than a few questions for them, like who designed these Republican areas ballots? Why weren't they corrected? Why were the missing barcodes on Democrat ballots? I can think of many more questions. I bet you can too. I bet I'm not the only graphic designer out there today to make this connection finally to the tabulation machine's rejection rates now. Link in the thread, Jovan Pulitzer's testimony today if you want to watch. Someone asked me to share this as a PDF so they could share it across other social media. Here is the PDF for anyone interested. And in my way of spreading this around, I am making this thread into a video tribute. Please share it if you can. I will also be in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. Links in the description to both PayPal and Subscribestar if you'd like to support that effort.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.